Schools in the Downriver community are facing drastic cuts that could even force them to shut down. As Channel 7 News reported last night, voters rejected an $11.8 mil increase for the schools. Today's Channel 7's Val Clark reports the Riverview district is struggling to even stay open.
2,400 Riverview students could be affected one way or another by the Milage defeat. Cuts in transportation, athletics, teachers, and the school day itself may have to be made even before another proposed vote can be taken. The prospect makes students uneasy.
I'm just kind of worried because wrestling and all the spring sports are not going to be there. And just like all the underclassmen, if they have to cut back on the hours, like for the kids that really need the classes, they're not going to be able to get them.
Well, some people are complaining about they have to walk to school because they're going to shut down the buses.
The failure of McLeod Steel to pay nearly $2 million in school taxes led to the $11.8 millage request. McLeod is also the reason voters gave for turning the millage down 4-1.
I just think that the board or whoever runs the show over at the school just doesn't know how to operate their finances when they know that McLeod Steel is in such bad trouble.
The school superintendent says the only real answer is a proposed law that would end dependence on McLeod.
I am reasonably confident that we are going to be successful in our legislative effort to remove McLeod from our tax base, which would give us the opportunity to collect state aid.
The worst thing that could happen in this situation is for all 5 schools to close. That would force students into surrounding communities. Of course, those districts would then be overburdened, and most of them have problems of their own. From Riverview, I'm Val Clark, Channel 7 Action News reporting.
It is now 10 minutes after 5. The state of Michigan last month, but tonight News 4's Mike Lewis says the situation in St. John's has changed. Controversy has turned to compassion. The states are also piping sanctions. Survivors haven't
forgotten. In government today, the Riverview adults decided not to give their schools any more money. News 4's Paul Long reports on the effects that decision will have on their children's education.
Last night, it didn't take long to figure the sentiments of Riverview voters. By a 4-1 margin, they voted against an $11 mil increase, despite the fact they knew that without it, the school district would have to make major cuts.
And this is the problem. McLeod Steel, it's been in trouble, so much trouble that now it is not paying its taxes, and that's been devastating for the school district. The taxes for McLeod Steel make up 24% of the total school district's budget. That's nearly $2 million. And yesterday's vote was to replace it.
The people feel that they are being asked to solve the McLeod problem, and they feel that that solution rests not with just the people of Riverview.
So now Cromer will be taking 4 proposals to the school board in order to save money.
And then come down the line and option this with our end out here.
One is to cut all funds to athletics, make them self-supporting through booster clubs raising money and students paying to play. Another is to drop all bus service except for special education and vocational students.
All right, and she told Jane to do what?
Third, to close 1 of 4 elementary schools. Officials say that would not create overcrowding, but would take young students farther away from home. And finally, to drop the school day from 6 to 5 hours. That could cause some teacher layoffs.
But I thought I was going to want to move, and no one's going to want to move here.
Only reason I like school is sports, mostly.
You won't get as much education.
And school officials say even those cuts won't be enough. Paul Long, News 4, Riverview.
Well, if Bernie Smilovitz were a chef...